Lastly here, a quick little breeze through this article. Everybody who bought a 4090 thought they were great. We're having fun. We're having fires. And we're blaming the connector. And some YouTubers even were blaming the connector. But NVIDIA went out of their way to go, there's no way it was the connector's fault. Even though this connector is taking on way more power than it should be. Those are my choice of words. It was a really dumbed down version of doing it. But nonetheless, the connector has been something of controversy, at least. Now, unfortunately, it took a lot of RTX 4090 casualties to get to a point where the big guy stepped up and realized that the 12 VH PWR connector deserves a revision. So Igor's lab shared a small concept excerpt from a draft engineering change notice forthcoming CEM 5.1 spec that will serve as the basis for the ATX 3.1 connector. The 12V 2x6 connector will replace, what the heck was that? Will replace the 12VH PWR connector. Now, basically, they're admitting that it was the problem without admitting it was the problem, because this was a brand new connector. So if you're already having to revision it, was something that wrong? Or is next gen's graphics cards going to need that much more power? Now, with the previous connector, the maximum power was 600 watts, 525 from the connector, and 75 watts from the expansion slot. On the other hand, the new limit will be 675. Basically, the new connector will be able to handle an extra 75 watts, helping burn that fire a little brighter. I mean, who really knows because we haven't seen it yet, but the power connectors are obviously different. However, the PCI SIG has made efforts to help less experienced users differentiate one from the other by using unique identifiers. Crazy. So, moral of the story here is it turns out you might have been right. If your 4090 died because of a small fire that happened to be at your connector, sounds like that could have been the issue. Now, one of the safety things that they're doing for safety reasons is the PCI SIG extended the spacing between the tip of the sense PIDs to the edge to 1.7 millimeters on the new connector. Now that is 1.25 millimeter improvement. As a result, the pin behind the tip is 2 millimeters behind the outer edge, supposedly helping reduce some bad connection points. Will be that. Hopefully I'm explaining all this right because I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants. But essentially they're hopefully fixing all of the problems here that used to be. And if you're curious, I will try to link this article down below because this is a little more technically over my head. Other than, yeah, they're revisioning that connector already because turns out maybe there were some problems. So you got to do that. And with that, hope you enjoyed this episode. I need to read these technical savvy articles a little more before we get going with them. But with that, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See ya.